Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for an update on Gala Games. You've been probably waiting for this video as we've been on a bit of a hiatus. However, I've got a little bit of a recap on a recent Mirandus AMA which happened. They don't really have these very often, as well as just me talking about the current state of Gala Games. This is Classy Crypto Gaming. If you enjoy our commentary style videos, as always, like and subscribe so you can see more of these. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I wanted to start this video by talking about the recent Mirandus AMA. Now, people all over Mirandus, in fact, I've talked to Masters of Materium, one of the largest, if not the largest asset holder of Mirandus just stuff. Like, they have all kinds of stuff. They've got boats, they've got Ds, they've got probably kingdoms at this point. But generally speaking, they're very big, in the Mirandus world, so we might have them on the channel. Leave a comment if you guys are interested in that kind of content. And so in the Mirandus AMA, they touched a lot on player loads, and not the way you're thinking about, but instead in the sense of how many players were playing on the last Mirandus playtest. If you didn't know, Mirandus has these playtests every couple months, if not a little bit more. And the people that own these NFTs called exemplars are able to play in these. But even more so, if you want to get into the Mirandus world, you're going to need to own an exemplar. So it's literally the in-game characters are called exemplars. In order to play Mirandus, you need an exemplar. Exemplars bought right now can earn this token called Materium. It's going to be the utility token for the Mirandus universe, which is in, of course, Gala Games. And pretty much people that are getting into right now are rewarded because they're early ecosystem buyers. If you guys are interested in getting into the ecosystem right now, well, we have a link in the description to support the channel. And it's just Gala Games Classy's Cryptosphere. Why wouldn't you do it? And so I want to quickly touch base on this because they talked a little bit about exemplars. Exemplars are literally the only way you can get into this game. You could already see some of them are being sold out, some of the rare ones. Humans are less hyped. People are really hyped on the orcs. These are, of course, rare. They are epic. And you've got the legendary ones, pretty much the equivalent on the halflings over here. But what did they talk about in terms of the AMA recap? Well, actually, their tech scrap is going to be heavily advanced from where it is today. They've actually said that the technology that Mirandus needs in order to deliver a full game, it needs to be a lot better than where it is today. In fact, it's come to the point where they're saying that they need a lot more than where they're at today. So we're probably to be expecting a lot more. However, in the playtest that's coming up, they did say that we're going to get 7 months of advancement in terms of where the last playtest was to the playtest today. So we should see a huge improvement in the Mirandus gameplay, which is good. It's exactly what we want to see. There should be a lot more things that should be pretty much it's like you took the minimalist POV like this right here, and then you slapped it onto Mirandus. That's kind of what you're going to be getting on this playtest for people that have exemplars. So it's pretty cool to see that Mirandus is giving people in development footage. And this kind of leads me on to kind of a greater rant here, or a greater narrative here. Whereas, I mean, a lot of people got into the Gala ecosystem off of Townstar, right? And as you can see, Townstar is not even a fully fleshed out game. This game has not come out yet. Well, it's come out in terms of it's playable, but this game's in beta. People have been playing this game in beta for about 2 years now. And video game development times, when you're trying to make a AAA title, it takes a long time to get things right. And you're going to see a lot of these games just testing out different economy models before they come out in full fruition. Anybody getting into these ecosystems for like the play to earn component or whatever, you're pretty much in a big old experiment. So I'd say you wait until these games become live over here, and then you see where things go. I really like personally how Superior's kind of been going about their development cycle. They actually recently updated their game, and a lot of people have been testing out the shock waves. It's a brand new element that they've added to the game. I think it's a ton of fun. I think people getting into the ecosystem, for example, I got a Ronin recently, are going to feel like they are getting their value back. But here's the cool thing about something like this ecosystem. You get into this game, you spend $20 and you're done. That's all you do. You don't have to do anything else. It's not complicated. You don't have to spend a crazy amount on NFTs. And I think people are missing that fact. People are missing the fact that some Gala games absolutely are going to be stupid expensive to get into because it's for the higher echelons of gamers in whatever ecosystem. Plus, not every game is owned by Gala, so, you know, those games end up doing what they want. But there are going to be some games, for example, from developers like Drifter, that decide, hey, we're going to make this sustainable. We're going to make this super cheap. We're going to make it so that if you don't care about NFTs, if you hate NFTs, you don't even need to take part in that part of the ecosystem, which I think is really cool. And I'm very curious to see if Mirandus can play that fine line where, sure, you need an exemplar to get into the game, but you could still have a really fun experience without feeling like the game is too pay to win. And while, you know, most MMOs are historically just extremely pay to win, Mirandus can play that fine line where, you know, you have that true ownership, you could join a guild, and you could have a greater narrative, which is something that I think Mirandus is kind of continuously pushing, whereas you need a guild. I mean, you get a bunch of different bonus rewards for owning a guild, for, you know, being a part of a guild, for participating in it, and pretty much everybody in Mirandus is heavily incentivized to get into this kind of stuff. So it's really important that if you're getting into Mirandus, that you're beginning to scope out, you know, what a guild is going to be like. If you're thinking of, you know, when is this game going to come out? When should I be excited for more Gala games? Something like Mirandus, like an MMO fully fledged out, I would suspect that this game would come out sometime in either 2024, very late, Q4 2024, something like that, or like 2025, 2026. Like these games take a long time to build. They really do. So for the guys that are expecting Mirandus tomorrow, it's not going to happen. But something cool that they did say is that they're going to have tavern games. So you can see this thing over here where it says tavern games. People that are free to play, that don't want to spend money on exemplars, you can play tavern games. And this is something that they said on the AMA is going to be really cool, which I agree. I mean, I think there needs to be a free-to-play component on Mirandus. I think every crypto game should have free-to-play in it because guess what? Free-to-play is the dominant model in gaming right now. Sure, there are, you know, outliers that you have to spend $60 to get the game, but those are usually very established titles that are already huge. And plus, we've got exemplars. So, you know, you've got that subscription model where you just buy the NFT and you keep it forever, which isn't really a subscription-based model. It's just kind of like you buy that thing, entry fee, and you're in. I'm sure those are going to get way cheaper as we get into release, but I do think that having the ability to get free-to-play players, which usually really helps with numbers, is going to be a really big deal for Gala games, especially in their pivot to mobile gaming, where not everybody has $300 to throw into an NFT. Some people just want to go ahead and grab their phone, download their game, and have a ton of fun, which is a big thing, right? You've got Ember Entertainment's purchase, which I think is going to segue into many of the current Gala games that are on PC to go into mobile, which I think is really cool. And overall, the vision's looking really good. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. But until the next Gala update, stay safe, stay classy, and that's all.